G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back for another Space Engineers video. So, in today's video we're going to be continuing on with the 4K subscriber special that we did before. So what we have here is we have 5 different designs from 5 different people, basically based upon this ship here. So obviously this was the original ship that I gave to people so that they could kind of customize it themselves and make something that they want out of it. And we'll just go through the different designs that people have kind of come up with. So, but first what we'll do is we'll have a look at this one. And as you can see, it's just kind of a bare bones ship. It doesn't really have any interior. It's, yeah, basically just a shell. And the idea was that people would grab this and then kind of design something themselves out of it. Now, it didn't need to be exactly the same as this ship, but it had to kind of be based upon this ship. So, alright, first up we have the Helios by Jewl Assasin. Now, this person actually said that this ship was kind of incomplete as they needed to go on holidays before the submission closed. So it is a little bit of a work in progress, I believe. But yeah, the design is, I guess, very similar to the base design that I published on the workshop. Obviously, you know, the front is a lot different. I actually quite like this ribbing effect that he's got going on here. I don't mind this part here as well. Looks like there's actually a bit of access in here, so you can get in here and you can repair all of these thrusters as well. I do like how he's put the thrusters here as well. I think that looks pretty cool. And then obviously we have our hydrogen thrusters on the side here for a bit more, you know, side to side movement. The engine pods look about the same, although the color of the ship is obviously changed, and these battered armor blocks here have like a very slight blue tinge to them, which I quite like. I definitely like how he's changed the color scheme a little bit, and not just gone with exactly like this one. Although each to their own. It doesn't really matter what color you tend to make it, but it is nice to see different colors from the base design. Also, this thing seems to be extremely heavily armed. I think I counted, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and are there any more? Yeah, so I think we have about 10 missile launchers on this thing. Obviously all the ones at the front as well, and then we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we have about 10 Gatling turrets as well. So this thing is quite well armed, and then obviously a bunch of little interior turrets scattered around the place as well. So yeah, I think it it's definitely going to hold its own in a battle, especially against the Reavers. So obviously up here we have ourselves some oxygen farms, so they look pretty cool. I like how this all looks. Makes great use of this space, so it doesn't look all flat and boring. So obviously we've got some ion thrusters here on the top, some more here on the top as well, so I think it should have some decent movement. And then on the bottom here you can see that we have a fair amount of hydrogen thrusters, and then also we have some large atmospheric thrusters as well. So I think, yeah, this thing should be capable of lifting quite a bit of weight. So yeah, alright, well, without further ado, let's go inside and let's take a look at the interior. So I think what we'll do is we'll enter in through the bridge. So we'll come through here. Now I do believe that if you wait long enough, these doors close on their own. I think these are running off a script, although I'm not exactly sure. We have ourselves some gyroscopes, and then if we work our way up here, then this obviously is the bridge. So if we have a look here, bring up the tab, so it looks like we've got a few thrusters here disabled. I'm not sure which ones they are. Yeah, I'm not sure what that does. Whoops. Ah. Oh, okay, yeah, that's thrust override. So we have a bit of a cruising function there, I think. I definitely like the shape of this ship. It looks really nice from the outside. Looks like we have about 3,950 kilometer jump range, which is not bad at all. Alright, well, let's make our way downstairs and see what is inside. So I'm not going to wait for these doors to close because I think they do take a little bit of time. And then if we make our way through this area here, you can obviously go downstairs there. But here it looks like we have ourselves some cryo chambers. Not sure if these are connected to anything. I can't really tell because this space is pressurized, so I don't think there is any pipe work behind those, so I think they're just kind of sitting there for the moment. And then if we make our way through here, then obviously we get to the top of the ship, so we'll just... I almost got back inside. So we'll just make our way back through here, and then we will go downstairs, and let's have a look at this. So up here we have a little bit of pipe work, and then obviously we've got some grated windows kind of covering the pipes and making everything look nice and pretty. And then if we come down here, we have ourselves a little bit of cargo storage. So we've got, what, 3 large cargo containers by the looks of it, which is not bad at all. I think with the amount of thrusters that it has on the bottom, you'll be able to fully fill those and you should be pretty good to go. We have ourselves 2 large reactors, some more gyroscopes. This seems to be the main engineering section. We've got ourselves some speed modules, some refineries. So it looks like these are all speed modules on these refineries. We've got a couple of programmable blocks. I really like the way he's done this here. He's kind of put them behind these vertical windows. I think that is a nice little touch. It makes it look pretty good. Although, yeah, that's messing with me a little bit, the conveyor label not being upright, but that's okay. That's, yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people struggled to do this in, yeah, that was one of the things that I kind of regret doing, was giving people only a 2-week time limit with these builds, because I think people probably would have been able to come up with, I don't know, maybe they would have been able to do a little bit more if there wasn't such a short time period, and it would be interesting to see what people could do. And perhaps maybe even what I'll do is I'll, you know, maybe say, okay, update these blueprints over another 2 weeks and, you know, see what you come up with and see what changes, yeah, see what changes come about after that amount of time. So obviously, enough rambling. We've got 2 jump drives here at the front. It looks like we've got another 2 either side up here, so that totals about 6 jump drives, which again, as I mentioned before, the jump range on this ship is pretty good. And then we move up to the front, and it looks like we have another large cargo container, some large hydrogen tanks. I think there are some hydrogen tanks kind of buried up in the where the thrusters are. So, but I think this is the end of the ship. There is nothing at the front of this apart from, I believe, the missile launchers sit behind these conveyor junctions here. So yeah, and obviously we have a beacon. So let's head on outside and let's get a bit of a look at... Yeah, I think that is a script that... Or maybe these doors are set on timer blocks. I can't exactly remember how that works. I have seen it before where it kind of closes the doors behind you at random. Oh yeah, also there seems to be some doors on the side here where we have got access to the outside world. I don't know why my character is not moving, but we will bypass the stairs because my character is not able to use them properly. And then obviously we have a name badge here for the name of the ship. And then if we make our way through the thrusters here, you can see that we have a fair amount of hydrogen tanks up here as well. So we've got one, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 either side, so about 10. And I think there was one up the front as well. So we've got about 11 hydrogen tanks, which should give this thing quite a bit of fuel. So yeah, overall I like it. It's pretty cool. Definitely love the outside design of this thing. I reckon it looks really cool. This ship here is called the Challenger 4 planetary vessel by Substicious. Now, the only thing about this ship is I'm not sure. Yeah, it's so different to the original design that, yeah, I don't know. It looks way more similar to the Atlas than it does. I never actually named this ship, so whatever the base ship was that I created for the competition. So yeah, but anyway, I mean, we'll take a look at it anyway, why not? Okay, so first let's get a look at the outside. So as I mentioned before, it looks quite similar to the Atlas. The design aesthetic is probably halfway between the Atlas and the Pioneer, and if you guys haven't seen those ships, then I will create a link to those in the video description, as well as putting a link to each one of these ships in the video description as well. So yeah, the outside is, yeah, the design aesthetic, as I said before, is very similar to the ships that I've done before. Let me turn my lights on here so we can get a good look underneath. I like what he's done here as well. The thrusters are really buried deep into the ship on the bottom. And it looks like he has used the new industrial thrusters, which is, yeah, they're pretty hard to use, those thrusters, because they're actually one block taller than the traditional ones as well. Also, it seems like he's placed some thrusters next to the landing gears, which I think is pretty cool. We have some spotlights on the bottom to light up what we're trying to land on. Again, it looks like this ship has plenty of thrust on the bottom, so it should be able to lift quite a bit of weight. I couldn't really tell you off the top of my head how much weight this thing could lift, but I imagine it is a fairly decent amount. Also, we have some pretty decent side thrust. As I said before, the design is very similar to the Atlas. So we have these 3 small thrusters on the back, and then we have some ion thrusters on the front. This design is kind of very similar to the Pioneer, I guess. But yeah, I'd be very curious to see the process of building this one. This is a very interesting ship. And then at the front here, it looks like we've got, well, the side pod fronts. We've got some large ion thrusters, and then again some large industrial hydrogen thrusters. So yeah, I think it should have some decent performance, maneuverability, and some speed. It looks like there isn't too many top thrusters, so I'm going to assume that this is mostly a planetary vessel, so where you don't really need too much upward thrust. And then I really like what he's done here, and he's placed a big thruster up at the top here. I think that looks pretty cool as well with this sort of half pipe design. That's pretty cool as well. We've got a few thrusters here, and then obviously some thrusters at the back. Alright, so I think there are a few ways to enter this ship. I think there's some doors on the side here. There is a door on the side of the bridge on either side. There is also a door at the back here, and obviously there is the hangar at the front. So I think what I'll do is I will start at the rear of the bridge, and then we will work our way through, we'll start at the side of the bridge, and then we'll work our way back and then down through the ship. Alright, so we're inside the bridge. It looks like this is the script that shows you the structural integrity of the ship, or maybe it's a map of the ship. I'm not exactly sure. Let's actually check this out and see what script is running here. Script, none. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is. Content, script, custom data, display config. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this script is that's running here, but I've never seen that one before, although I'm not really too experienced with scripts. Here it looks like we have, so what have we got here? We've got It looks like we have a few controls to enable all the doors, disable all the doors, enable and disable the exterior doors, and it looks like what's set up here is that the jump status will change the color of the lights, and then you can change the color of the lights throughout the ship based upon what you're doing at the time. So let's have a look here. It looks like this one's set up very similar to the one to my right, and we've got some thrust override here in the number 2 and 3 position, and I believe number 1 will turn all the thrusters on and off. Very nice. It looks like this thing has about an 18,000 kilometer jump range, so let's have a look at these jump drives and see exactly how far we can. Oh, so 1,801 kilometers. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a pretty respectable jump range. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much it on the control front. Alright, let's head on downstairs now. I think there are 2 ways. No, sorry, there is only one way that you can head downstairs. Looks like this one's on a sensor. I think most of the doors in this ship are actually on sensors, very similar to how I do it on my ships. Looks like we've got a few more programmable blocks behind these windows here. Very nice. I do like the look of this script here, so it tells you exactly what is in everything. Actually, that might be the script that automatically builds stuff for you, so that's pretty cool. We've got some computer called Delta, Bravo, and Charlie, and then looks like we have some oxygen tanks sitting behind glass. Oh, I thought there was a sheet of glass there. Looks like we've got the same on the other side. Some timer blocks here. We have our medical room. So this layout here is kind of similar to the Atlas, mainly because of this part, but everything else is kind of totally different. So yeah, alright, I think I might make my way down this side. So this looks like to be main engineering, so we've got a couple of refineries here. We've got looks like it's mostly speed modules. What's this? That's an assembler. I can't really see what's behind the refinery. Looks like we've got our jump drives underneath that, so if I was to take a guess, I'd say we've got 4 of them, although I'm not really sure. I'd say that is how many there are. There's 4 of those, and I believe this was the door that we came through from the bridge. Yes. Alright, so if we make our way down here and we turn left, and then we come down to the engine room, and this actually looks really cool. I really like this design. All the catwalks sitting around the large reactor, it just looks really nice. And then also on the sides here we have our jump drives, and yeah, I'm really liking the aesthetic that's going on here. It's pretty cool. And then obviously we have, it looks like we've got an armory that sits behind main engineering. And I believe that this is the door that gets us out of the ship. Let me turn my lights on here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so this is the exit at the back of the ship. So what we'll do is we will move forward through the ship and let's check out the rest of it. Okay, so it looks like we've got a door that goes this way. Well, actually, let's have a look down here in the main guts of the engine room. So it looks like we've got ourselves a ton of gyroscopes, and I'll just turn off my lights so we can get the vibes of the ship itself. We've got a few lights here. Got ourselves some small reactors, some nice laid out pipe work. We've got some hydrogen engines, a whole ton of batteries. So I'm not sure exactly how many batteries are on the ship. I haven't actually gone ahead and counted them yet, but it seems like we have a few. Now I believe this is towards the rear of the ship, so in here, actually I haven't seen this part before. I did kind of check out these ships a little bit before I started this. Oh yeah, we got a toilet here, but I never actually checked out this portion of the ship. So it looks like we've got ourselves like kind of a barracks sort of thing, so people can sleep. In here we've got ourselves a bathroom by the looks of it. Very cool. I like ships that have a decent interior in them. I always find that is like sometimes the hardest part about designing a ship is doing the interior. Is that the rear or is that the front? No, I think that's the rear of the ship and this is the front of the ship. So it looks like we've got 3 levels here. So alright, let's go through here and let's see what we've got. So it looks like we've got ourselves some large industrial cargo containers in the midsection of the ship. And then if we work our way downstairs, not sure what this room is. Looks like it's mostly just a bit of pipe work, a bit of decoration happening. And I'm not sure what's out here. Okay, so we can make our way up. Yeah, so we got like kind of a hangar control room here. I really like when people do this in ships where you've got like the 45-degree angle glass and you've got people sitting in chairs and you can kind of look down into the hangar. I always like that. It's very... reminds me of Star Wars when they're in the Death Star. In the first episode, and they're kind of looking over all the operations in the room. So it looks like we've got ourselves a mess hall here. We've got ourselves a little kitchen with a nice little passage frame, and then if we work our way through this way, we've got just a... not sure what this room is. Oh yeah, some more cargo storage, of course. Looks like I'm going blind. And then I think this was the 3rd level that we're at. So what's up here? This is back into engineering, so we'll go back this way. And I think if we go upstairs here, we should come up to the server room. So I think that is basically all of the interior of this ship. So yeah, overall I think it's pretty cool. It's definitely very different. Oh wait, sorry. I haven't actually checked out the hangar, so let's go ahead and let's do that. Okay, so here we are back in the room with all the pipes, and I believe here we have entry to the outside of the ship through the side, and then downstairs here, this should be the hangar. Yes, it is. And yeah, it looks like we've got a few spotlights in here. I'll turn my lights on so we can see what we're doing a little bit more. Looks like we've got ourselves a few air vents pressurizing the place, which is pretty cool. Looks like we've got some half blocks here. And then I wonder if this door is automatically opening and closing. Yes, it is. Alright, cool. Yeah, so overall I think that would be a very capable ship. I really like the design of this front here, how he's done these beam blocks. I think that looks pretty cool. So yeah, overall pretty cool design, dude. So yeah, well done. Now this one is yeah it's pretty cool to see a mining ship being built out of that ship over there. Obviously we've got a more battle focused ship here. This one I would say is more of an exploration focused ship, and obviously this one is just a purely mining ship. So this ship here is the Kussaku-Ki heavy mining frigate by J-Link 33. Alright, so let's go ahead and have a look at this thing. So obviously at the front we have a massive amount of drills. So this thing should be able to mine copious amounts of ores. So if yeah, I reckon this thing would be able to get through an entire ore deposit in no time at all. Looks like we have some connectors on the side here. I would wager that these are connected to some sort of sorter blocks, and they are actually set up to eject the stone that you would accumulate when you're mining. It looks like we also have a whole bunch under here as well. The thrust on the bottom seems to be pretty insane. So we've got 12 large thrusters, which is a ginormous amount of thrust, and then obviously we have all of these small thrusters as well. I can't be bothered sitting here and trying to count them, but I would wager that this thing can lift an absolute boatload of ores off the ground. So you could probably mine an asteroid, land back on the planet, or mine actually probably a lot more than one asteroid and land back on a planet, no worries at all. Side thrust looks like it's pretty good as well, so we have a fairly decent amount of thrusters on the side. Braking thrusters, I'm not sure that there is too many. It looks like we've got two. Oh no, I thought there was 2 tucked under there. So looks like we've got a few cheeky little thrusters in here as well. So making use of the 3 block spacing for damage on thrusters. So those thrusters, even though they're there, they're not actually going to damage other blocks. Looks like we've got our large thrusters here. I think these are just the stock ones. Yes, they are. We've got ourselves a couple little ion thrusters here, and then obviously another little ion thruster here. Actually, no, this is the large ion thruster. So I'd say it would have a decent amount of reverse thrust on it. I would test all these ships out and see what their performance capabilities are, but honestly this video would go for days if I did that, so I'm kind of going to skip that part. We're just going to tour the ships and have a look at what they look like and the overall design of them. Looks like we've got a fairly decent amount of thrust on the top as well in that front portion of the ship. Side thrust, we've already covered that. And then on the rear, looks like he's fully changed up the design on the back, which looks pretty cool. This kind of like spiky configuration, very reminiscent of a Reaver ship, I would say. And we've got a couple of ion thrusters scattered throughout, which should provide a little bit more power when we're trying to get into an asteroid and drill it out. So yeah, overall it looks pretty cool on the outside. I do like the rusty color scheme mixed in with the black. It looks yeah, it looks pretty cool. I do apologize if I completely butchered the name of this ship, because yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that word before, so I'm kind of struggling with that one. We also have a little bit of pipe work on the outside, which I thought was a cool little touch. Normally, you know, most people would put the pipe work on the inside, but it is kind of cool to see the pipe work on the outside fully exposed, and yeah, kind of giving the ship a little bit more decoration and a little bit more interest to the outside of the hull. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Also, I like how he's countersunk the blocks next to these thrusters here. I've never actually thought about doing that before, so yeah, that's pretty cool, that one. And then we just, I'm not sure what these are the exhaust pipes obviously, but I'm not sure what these are programmed to do. I'm sure that like when you start these drills up, these things would start going. I like the copious amounts of gas that's coming out of the back. It looks like a very dirty ship, so it kind of adds to that mining ship feel, which is again very cool. Although is very interesting that we're in the middle of a vacuum and all the smoke seems to be going in the upwards direction. So yeah, that's although that's more of a game engine type deal rather than the ship doing that. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if these doors open and close automatically. I don't think they do. I think they're all manually operated. Yeah, it looks like they're manually operated. Or maybe I'm just being impatient. Looks like we've got remote control, some server blocks here, a timer. Not sure what this timer block is for. We could go into the menu and check it out, but I don't think I will do that because, like I said, the video will go on for days if I do. Looks like we have ourselves some sci-fi interior walls. Looks like he's made a lot of use of these neon tubes throughout the interior, which yeah, makes it look very interesting. And then we have a full set of what all of the hot bars do. So it looks like, so the max carry weight on planets is 11.5 million kilos, which is pretty insane. None of my ships can lift that amount of weight. So, but yeah, I kind of suspected that this thing could lift an enormous amount of ores, just because of the sheer amount of thrusters that are on the bottom, especially 12 large thrusters. Then we got a hot bar 2, hot bar 3, hot bar 4. See workshop description for additional information. Yeah, you know, I probably should have read through the description of all of these ships in the workshop. But again, time constraints, we'd probably be here for days if we did that. So yeah, ship seems to move pretty, not too badly. Is a little bit lethargic, but I mean, you know, it is a mining ship, so it's kind of to be expected. So I'm not actually sure if this thing spawned in with or in it already. So let's check the weight on this thing. So what have we got? got 5 million kilos, so no, I think it is empty at the moment, or maybe it's half full. I'm not exactly sure. I would wager that it's like kind of half full. Looks like we have a whole bunch of gyroscopes and a gravity generator underneath these catwalks here in the bridge. Very interesting design. I've never seen that done before, and yeah, it's nice to see different things in the game. And like I said many times before, that's what this game is all about, is showing people's creativity, and not everybody doing the exact same thing or doing exactly the same things that I do. It is nice to see things that are different to the way I do them. Seems to be a very kind of dark interior here. That looks like a projector block. Yeah, that's a projector block. I imagine that is for projecting the blueprint so that you can do any repairs. Looks like here we have ourselves a medical room and then a cryo chamber. So it looks like maybe a one-man operation type deal, this ship. And then we have ourselves kind of like a passageway. So if we walk through here, turn to the left and then open this door, we enter into what looks like to be the engine room. So we have ourselves a whole bunch of hydrogen engines, and this is exactly the same on the other side. Again, as I mentioned before, I have kind of briefly toured these ships before I started recording this video, just so that I knew roughly what I was doing and talking about. Looks like up here as well we have the bottom of the ion thrusters, so this looks like it's the top of the ship. So we have ourselves, what, so we got 2 hydrogen tanks on either side there. I'm not sure what sits under the floor here. I would imagine it would be the hydrogen engines, although I'm not exactly sure. I mean the hydrogen thrusters. So actually, let's see if I can kind of squeeze through here. Nah, that's all right. We'll have a look at that in a little bit. So all right, let's make our way through here. I'm not sure what's there actually. I think there's a pipe running underneath the ship somewhere and going to something else, but I can't remember where that actually goes. All right, so let's go back through this door here, close that behind us, and then it looks like we have 2 hallways that go through to the same place. We have ourselves, I didn't notice this little nook before when I was reviewing the ship, or when I was looking at the ship before. So it looks like we've got a little nook here. We have ourselves, I don't know why this ship is venting atmosphere. Oh, whoops, I left that door open. Alright, let's go through here now. Nice to see a bit of labeling going on. I never really have an opportunity to do this because I always tend to use sensors where I could place the labels. So yeah, it's nice to see a few labeled areas here. So we've got power cell, refine area, ore hold, and then the drill area. So I imagine that is all forward from this door. So here we obviously have our power room. So we've got 3 large reactors, so we should have power for days. And then I thought I would turn my lights off and get the full aesthetic of this room. The green glow definitely gives off nuclear vibes, so yeah, I really like that. Looks like we have a ton of batteries, so I don't think this thing will be running out of power anytime soon. Looks like you could probably run this ship off battery power alone and not have to worry about anything else. So we have our refine area, ore hold and drill area. Looks like it's the same door on the other side, again operated by a sensor. And then let's turn the lights on here. So this looks like we have all of our life support, so the O2H2 generators, and in here we have some more gyroscopes. I can't remember if I saw gyroscopes before this. I think I did. Oh yeah, we have a basic refinery here as well. So looks like just a single basic, oh no, we have a whole bunch of basic refineries here. Not sure what these are for. Not sure why he didn't go for the advanced refineries, but anyway, we got some basic refineries here. I believe this is access out of the side of the ship, and this is probably one of my favorite features of this ship here, is this little catwalk that runs outside the ship. This is always something I've wanted to do in my ships, but I never really found an opportunity to do that. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I really like this part. Then we have a door here that accesses the side, and this room is forward of the power room that we were just in before. So I believe it's here. Yeah. So oh, that's right. I forgot these doors are automatically opening and closing. All right. So I know that you can go upstairs here, but what I'm going to do is finish off this deck. So, or this level. So I find this part of the ship really cool as well. We have ourselves this passage 3 with a wall, and then obviously on the side here we've got some window blocks, so that we can see onto the outside of the ship. And then here is where our cargo, we have some more large cargo containers. Wait, do we have more, or are they the ones that are it? I don't know. I'm kind of getting confused because I've reviewed 3 ships now, so they're kind of bleeding into each other. So obviously here it looks like we have access to all the drills so that we can perform some repairs without getting ourselves too fully exposed in the depths of space. Alright, so let's go back in here. Let's close that. How do we get up here? I think I need to go all the way back here and then go around here, turn up these stairs. I really like how a lot of people have made use of these passage corners and all those passageway blocks. It's a block that I don't use often enough in the game, and it's always cool to see that block being used. So I think that is about everything that is in the interior. Let's just double check this. So let's go through here. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the extent of the interior. It looks like there's just kind of single levels, with the exception for this room here. I believe this one is kind of like a multi-level one. So let's work our way through here. Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of single levels throughout the ship. And what's this? That looks pretty cool. Ship instructions. Ah, okay, yeah, of course. Alright, we've already seen that. Like I said, it would be cool to see how these ships perform, but it's probably going to be a long enough video just looking at the ships. Alright, so I believe these doors here are actually manually operated, so that's okay. Alright, so let's move on to the next ship. Okay, so this ship here is called the Space Superiority Hunter by Dragonheart. Alright, so this ship actually looks really cool. I really like how he sloped the front of the ship down. Now I can't for the life of me remember what this ship reminds me of. I know I've seen a design like this before in some kind of sci-fi video, but yeah, I just can't quite put my finger on it. So obviously we've got quite a bit of sideways thrust here. So we've got a large thruster here. That's something I tend not to do, mainly because of the amount of space. But it's cool to see something different. As I've mentioned before, you know, cookie cutter kind of does get a little bit boring here. So also we have these really cool kind of small grid rotor turrets here. So I really like the design on these. To be honest, I may even steal this design myself for the Wasteland Survival series. This, yeah, it just looks so cool. So I really like that. That's absolutely awesome. And then, so this thing is a little bit like the ship over there, the blue one, where it seems to be quite heavily armed. So obviously we have all of these rotor turrets. So we've got 6 turrets on either side here, plus the 5 on this side, and then also on the top here we've got, I thought that was a turret there, but that's an aerial. Yeah, we've got like another 8 turrets here. So I don't know what that works out to be, but I do know that that is a ton of firepower. So yeah, this thing would make very short work of anything that it encounters. So not exactly sure what the purpose of this ship is, if it's like a carrier or just a like exploration ship or something like that. I'm sure it tells me in the description, but again, yeah I haven't read any of the descriptions, so I should probably do that. Maybe I'll do that at the end. So let's open up the hangar. So if I press this, it should open. Yep, here we go. So for this one, I'll just enter through the hangar. So it looks like we've got two hangars actually. So we've got one on the side and one on the front of the ship as well. So I think that's pretty cool. So looks like you can dock and yeah, do a fair amount of mining operations with this thing. So that's always pretty cool. And then I believe directly under those conveyor junctions is all of these thrusters on the bottom. So I think, is that all of the thrusters? No. So, oh yeah, we've also got some Gatling guns on the bottom here as well, and then some more rotor turrets. Again, I really like these rotor turrets. I'd actually really like to see how they go against Reavers and things like that. I reckon they chew them up pretty good. So then obviously we've got what, 6 large thrusters on the bottom here. I really like the way he's placed them out, and a whole bunch of small thrusters up at the front here. Looks like he's made good use of these new industrial hydrogen thrusters, which is very nice. And then obviously we've got some thrusters at the front here. These are just your traditional vanilla thrusters, the non-industrial ones. And also the same at the back here. I like what he's done with the design here on the back. That's pretty cool. Looks like we have a catwalk that enters into the back of the ship there. We have a large thruster on either side of the top, obviously. And I think that basically concludes the upwards thrust. Also, another thing I thought was pretty cool is this little floating piece here in the middle. Kind of like a spaced armor. So yeah, that was pretty cool. If we get our character upside down, you can see is that supported? Oh, these are actually half blocks. Ah, very cool. Yeah, that's a very good idea actually. I never thought of even doing that with the spaced armor by using half blocks. Okay, so back to the interior. So it looks like he's set up some lights here where they spin, and I believe if you close this door then they change color and then they flash as well. So not sure if that's a script or timer blocks or whatever, but either way it looks very cool. I do like these blocks when they're used for hangar doors. Something a little bit different to the standard hangar doors that we've got here. And it looks like when we go through these airlocks, these lights change colors and stuff, so that's a pretty cool little feature. I've never done any of that on any of my ships. I have seen it before, but still very cool feature. Looks like we have a forward hangar bay here for some mining ships or possibly some fighters, depending on which way you want to do it. And then I would imagine that this button here activates this door at the front, and it seems like it's pretty fast, this door as well. Very nice. And we have a button on either side in case one gets damaged. Very nice little touch. Alright, let's make our way through here. And I believe these airlocks are fully automatic, so if I was to stand back then the door would basically close on its own. I'm not sure what that red flash was there, but that's alright. Alright, let's open this one. And this one opens. And then that one closes and then it turns green. Very nice. So it looks like we've got ourselves some large cargo containers here. I think only 4, although I could be mistaken, there could be some hiding behind there. Or let's actually go have a look. No, I think the other side of this is the edge of the ship itself. Looks like we've got ourselves 4 large hydrogen tanks here as well. Yeah, it looks like use of the carbon fiber skin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then if we make our way through here, looks like we've got a gravity generator up there. Very nice. Whole bunch of conveyor junctions. Open this door, and then the airlock activates for us. Actually, I'll turn my lights off so we can get a full appreciation of the lighting that he's got going on in here. So looks like we've got a whole bunch of oxygen tanks up there. I'm not sure what's behind there. It looks like just some conveyor junctions, and then these, I would imagine behind here we have ourselves some assemblers. because obviously the oxygen tanks are above and below that, so I would imagine that behind these speed modules is assemblers. Not sure, I can't remember if this ship has refineries. I'm pretty sure it does. So okay, it looks like, yep, this is where our refineries are here. We've got some lights hanging off those. We've got ourselves a few gyroscopes here. Yeah, this is pretty cool how he's done this here with this pipe in between these reactors. And one thing I didn't know you could do was put these interior lights on the side of those pipes. I didn't know you could do that. So yeah, I definitely learned something new there. That's pretty cool. Yep, we've got two refineries. Looks like there's a balance of yield modules. Oh no, it looks like they're all yield modules, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got some air vents hanging off the side of the refineries with a bit of like nice decoration around the side of those. Looking pretty good, pretty slick. Alright, let's make our way through here. Really like these airlocks, all fully individual airlocks, automatic. Looks like we have ourselves a projector there, and we have ourselves some cargo access, or the O2H2 generators. And if I'm not mistaken, if we move through here, we can access the side of the ship. Oh, actually, this looks like a kind of like a Jeffries tube type of deal. So where we can access the jump drives and everything and make some repairs all around the place. So we've got, how many jump drives have we got here? So we've got one, I believe it's one on either side. We could find out if we have a look in the control panel, so let's have a look here. So, oh no, it's got 6 jump drives. Well, they're pretty well hidden. So we've got a fair few hydrogen tanks as well. Actually, let's just have a look at how many we do have. Maybe I should have done this on all of them. But again, for the sake of time, yeah, so it looks like it has a fairly decent amount of hydrogen with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is plenty. I mean, especially for, you know, since that they changed the amount of hydrogen that these tanks can actually store, I think 8 is more than adequate. So very nice. Looks like directly beneath here. Oh yeah, so he's enclosed those thrusters a little bit up here. That's why you can't see past them. Alright, so I believe that this door down there goes to the same place as this door here as well. And I believe this door here also goes to the same place. So yeah, I think, yep, that door goes up there as well. And this door goes up there as well. So I think what we'll do is we will make our way upstairs here, and then behind us we have another little area. Whoops, I was kind of impatient with that airlock there. So up here looks like we have ourselves a little server room. Again, I'll turn my lights off so we can fully appreciate the lighting effects we've got happening here. We have a myriad of catwalks up here. Oh, you guys know I love my catwalks. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go back down here. We'll go up here at the front, and looks like we have ourselves a little bit of a medical facility. Wow, the interior of this thing is just insane. Like, there's just so much stuff here. Survival kit, medical room, very cool. A couple of small reactors, or just one by the looks of it. I do like the yellowish lighting in this ship. It's yeah, very different. Well, not different, but you know, different to what I do. So again, it's cool to see other people's kind of design cues. I believe if I go down here, then that takes me to where I was before. Yeah, so we'll continue on this level and see what else we can see. So obviously we just have some servers down here, some timer blocks and some batteries. Up here, what do we have in room number? I've lost count. So this, I believe, is the CIC. I think these blocks here sit next to those hallway blocks with the windows. So this, I think this guy's actually spent, I think, quite a lot of time on this interior. It's very well planned out, I think, as are all of the ships. But yeah, it certainly seems like a lot of time has been spent on this build. Again, we have some more vents down the bottom. This looks like to be the main bridge. So we've got a little display there, the speed, and then here we have our main cockpit. And yeah, so I would really like to see this thing in battle. Looks like the movement is a little bit sluggish, so like I said, I didn't really give people much time to create these designs, so I guess there wasn't really much time to polish things. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll tell people to maybe spend another month or two on their designs and see if they want to change anything or anything like that, because I'm sure maybe there are some people who felt like it wasn't enough time to get things finished. I know there was at least one person who mentioned that to me. So, and it looks like this is the exit out the back, and what I'll do is I'll skip a little bit and then we'll go down here to the door on the bottom, and let's see what is in here. So I believe, what do we have here? So yeah, this was going up to the bridge, and this door here was taking us back down to this area here with all these little hallways that go into the other section here. And then yeah, I like this part here, how he's got these windows behind these passages here. Alright, I think that is pretty much everything there is to see in this ship. Alright, so let's try and make our way outside. So I think I go up here and then out the back here. I can see some space. Yep, there we go. There's an asteroid, so we're at the rear hatch door. So yeah, overall very cool design. In fact, all of these designs are very cool. Now this one is called the Twilight by Zero, and this thing is insane. Yeah, he's definitely had some creative freedom with the original design of the ship, and this thing is absolutely huge. I think the PCU on this thing is enormous as well, so let's have a look at this. So the PCU is 66,000, which is impressive. How this guy managed to build this thing in 2 weeks is just beyond me. There are just so many things to see on the outside of the ship, so I'm probably going to miss a ton of them. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, there's just so much stuff going on here, just because it's so big as well. Okay, so under here it looks like we've got what was that? That was a bit strange. Oh, it looks like he's set up a music block or something. Oh, very cheeky. Yeah, so it looks like we've got ourselves some access to yeah, just do some repairs and things like that. So very cool. Alright, let's exit out of that point. Looks like he's made use of this skin here. I can't remember what that skin is. I think that's the retro armor. Doesn't look like these blocks actually... Oh, these are the pillars. Yeah, so very cool use of the pillar blocks here. I'm not sure what these hinges are for. I think this whole thing here moves, or does this move? Yeah, I'm not sure what these hinge blocks are for, so I guess we'll find out later. Underneath, it looks like it has, yeah, a fairly decent amount of thrust. So what have we got? We got 8, 10 large hydrogen thrusters. Still not as much as the one over there with 12 on the mining ship there. But still, I think this thing will be able to lift a boatload of stuff. Whatever you want to lift, this thing will lift it. Looks like it's got 6 large hydrogen thrusters for braking. So definitely enough braking force there. Along with a couple of, I believe these are large ion thrusters here in these little pods. Really like the arrangement of this thing. It's this again, like some of the other ships, reminds me a lot of the Reaver ships, how they're like, especially the one that is, I believe, the Crimson Tormentor. We have a little bit of detail going on in here with these blocks. Very interesting with this skin here and these arrows on it. So kind of looks like a bit of cooling fins or something for the engine pods. Very nice little design there. Also we've got ourselves some blocks that go up and down. I believe these are the 2x1. Oh yeah, they're the half blocks. No, 2x1 bases, I should say. Bit of ribbing going on here. This little pod here is a very cool little feature as well. I just put the windows on the side here with the antenna in there. Very cool way to place your antenna. Normally when I place antennas, they tend to be in the most, tend to be pretty boring looking, but I think that's definitely a good way to house an antenna. We have our Twilight, which is the ship name on the side here. Some pretty cool use of these blocks here. These what are we? The beam blocks. Looks like he's gone for a chrome skin here. I think that's the gold chrome skin, but just obviously silver. Another little bit of detail here. We've got a pipe running through to a conveyor junction here. Looks like we've got a conveyor junction there, again in the chrome skin. Looks like through here we've got ourselves some oxygen farms as well. What's that? I think that looks like is that an oxygen tank? Yeah, it's an oxygen tank and an air vent. So that's probably somewhere on the interior of the ship. Actually, maybe that's for drawing air into the oxygen tanks on the ship itself. Just wow. These things are insane. So it looks like this thing has a fair amount of firepower. I would imagine that these things would shred stuff, pretty nicely. Looks to be only 2 of those on the front. And then we've got a nice little design here as well, where this thing is kind of sunken down and makes it look a little bit, that sound block. I might have to disable that. Actually, let's do that. Let's find this sound block and we shall disable you. Oh, no, you know what? I'll leave it because he obviously put them there for a reason. So, even though they are a little bit annoying. I do like the way he's put these guns here, not just flat on the surface, and put a little bit of design work underneath those. Very cool little feature as well. Looks like here we've got a landing pad for a mining ship or a fighter or whatever you want to put there, I guess. Nice big landing pad too, so you could have a reasonably sized ship there. Again, we have the Twilight on the side, which is exactly the same as the other side. Do I have my torch on here? Yeah, I do now. So some more Gatling guns. So there are more of these guns here. So we've got this gun here. Some more pipe work going underneath here. It's and then we've got some of these pillars as well as a bit of decoration. There's a lot of decoration going on this ship. Again, it's pretty crazy how this guy said he'd done this in 2 weeks. Well, obviously I know he done it in 2 weeks because that was the time limit I set, and I released the blueprint within that time frame. So looks like we have a massive amount of forward thrust. So I would imagine, even given the size of this ship, that it would scoot along quite nicely. The sideways thrust is looking pretty good as well. Looks like we have an entire row of small hydrogen thrusters on that side and on that side as well. And then up here on this additional engine pod here, which seems to be primarily ion, we have a whole bunch of thrusters on the side here too. I think these are large ones too. Yeah, they are. Wait. Ion thrust. No, they're the small thrusters. I thought they were the large ones. I think that is... Oh yeah, we've got a couple cheeky thrusters here in the center. And then we have a whole bunch of thrusters on the bottom here again. So, and then, we've got some thrusters there too. Actually, I didn't see those ones before. So I wonder, actually, how many blocks is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I think he would just get away without damaging this part here, and it looks like we've got some cheeky little internal thrusters here as well. A little pod running between these pylons here. Whole bunch of blocks connecting everything together. Yeah, just wow. I'm sure I have missed something on the outside of this ship. Oh yeah, and then this little kind of setup here where he's used these blocks here, the beam blocks, very cool. Little bit of more detail going on in there as well. Actually, that looks like a large hydrogen thruster there. Yeah, it is. We've got a whole bunch of small thrusters in there as well. I don't think I saw them before. I think I was at an angle where I couldn't see them, but yeah, so I'd imagine that this thing would hold an enormous amount of cargo as well. So alright, so I think I've only kind of spied one location where you can enter this ship. So oh yeah, and again, looks like we've got ourselves some hydrogen engines here, kind of semi-exposed on the outside and wrapped in tinted glass. That's a very cool little feature. I think that looks pretty cool. This thrust pack here at the back looks really nice too. So yeah, you can kind of see that. It actually looks really nice from the back. It's almost like a can't quite put my finger on it. I'm sure I'll think of it in a minute. Alright, well, let's make our way through the interior. Interesting. So, seems like the entire interior has got sound playing. And sorry dude, but I think I am going to disable these sound blocks because otherwise nobody will be able to hear what I am saying. Let's turn those off. Darn it. Well, maybe we'll have to do it in the settings. Options, audio, music. Yeah, we'll have to turn everything down to get away from that. So maybe I'll just adjust the sound volume here. And we'll turn it down a bit. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's work our way through this interior here. Yeah, I'm not sure what the go is with these sound blocks. Alright, so looks like we have ourselves a bit of engineering space here. We have a whole bunch of cryopods on this side. Yeah. Let's turn my lights off, get a bit of a feel for the lighting that this guy is trying to go for. Alright, so we got ourselves some large hydrogen tanks, some more cargo storage here, and just some small cargo containers here on the floor. Got ourselves some nice little pipe work going on as well. A little bit of an aesthetic feel. Some O2 H2 generators, and obviously some jump drives. So I wonder actually how many jump drives there are. This is pretty cool what he's done here with the planter box. Put some shelving here on either side of the staircase. And if we go here, let's have a look at how many jump drives are actually in here. So we've got, it's probably this. Oh. Jukebox. That's what it was. Alright, let's find the sound block. Let's turn these ones back on because obviously that wasn't what it was. And then I'll go back into my menus here and I'll adjust the audio again. So, okay, cool. So that's all sorted out now. I believe that is the rear of the cargo container there. So let's actually let's go back upstairs and see what else we have upstairs. Oh, that's right. I was trying to look for jump drives, wasn't I? So let's see how many jump drives this thing actually has. So we have, let's search for jump. Looks like we've got 8 jump drives. The max jump distance is 1,978 kilometers, which is respectable, especially for a ship that is of this size. The thing is absolutely enormous. So yeah, kind of surprising that it can jump that far. Okay, so it looks like this was where we entered the ship, so that's the outside, and then we have this kind of hallway here. Really like the red glow that we've got going on here, very cool. And then obviously if we make our way through here, I would imagine that we are making our way to the bridge, like what he's done here with these interior turrets. Very cool. Okay, let's go through here, and this looks like to be the bridge. Oh, I really like this red lighting. That's that looks really cool. So we've got ourselves some rear facing seats here. I think, is this off? Let's have a look here. I don't know if this seat is disabled or off, or it just has a blank something blank set on here. So let's have a look here. Okay. Yeah, I think that seat is turned off or disabled somehow. So through here we have another access to somewhere else. We'll check that out in a little bit. Looks like we've got ourselves some steel plates on the top here, or heavy armor panels. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So seems like you could have yourself a little bit of protection inside the bridge as well. Obviously on the sides here we've got ourselves some programmable blocks, some more, and not sure where that goes, but again I'll just kind of leave that for the time being. Let's go ahead and check out this top area here. This might be the main control seat here, so let's check this out. So yeah, it seems to be the main control seat. Wow, this thing weighs 8 million kilos. That's pretty impressive. I wonder how many heavy armor blocks are used in this build. That would be quite interesting. But yeah, really liking how these pipes go through the cockpit here. That's a pretty cool little feature. And you can see here he's used that same skin as before. Kind of gives it a little bit more detail, doesn't it? So very cool. Alright, let's see what we've got here. I have no idea what these are. It looks like the cargo storage and how much cargo storage has been used. Looks like we have ourselves some stats on all of the hydrogen engines and the status of the batteries and the hydrogen fuel, how much uranium we have, how many hydrogen engines we have, the O2H2 generators and how much fuel they have, and then the amount of oxygen we have. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. What else we got here? So looks like that is the pages for what we've got here, which is the ship control and everything like that. Although I think maybe there is nothing on the ship controls because no docked ship. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it tells you which ships are docked. Looks like there's a lot going on in this one. Oh yeah, cool. So we have ourselves a bit of a meeting room at the front here. Seems to be relatively well protected as well. So what have we got here? We've got, looks like light armor, and then a little bit of a different shape going on here as well, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Obviously we have a projection of the ship itself right there, which is a nice little touch. So everyone can be looking at the ship itself while they're having their meeting. Alright, so let's work our way to, I'm going to say let's go through to this door here on the front. So it looks like we have here a rec room or something like that. I believe that is looking upstairs into the other room. So maybe these two rooms share the oxygen between them. I'm not exactly sure. I can't see an air vent in here, so then again I don't remember seeing one up there, so I'm not sure how the oxygen gets in here, but that doesn't really matter. Alright, let's go down here and check out this stuff. So it looks like we have some auxiliary control seats. We'll go and check out those doors I think next. And then if we make our way through this door, oh yep, so we have ourselves a little toilet, a shower, some beds, and we've got an armory. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like how this looks as well, the way he's orientated these blocks. It looks pretty cool. Alright, let's make our way through here. And I do apologize about turning the jukebox off, but it was, yeah, a little bit annoying. Not gonna lie. Alright, so it seems like we are back where we started. So I believe there is some more things in this ship to check out. So I think if we go down, or maybe if we work our way forward, we have another little area here to check out. So, oh, looks like there's, I didn't notice this door before. Alright, so we'll check that out in a minute as well. So if we come down here, looks like we've got some access here to some more storage space. I think I have to, well, I think I kind of cheated a little bit, and you actually have to go through these doors here, through this like kind of intricate hallway. Whenever I'm in this ship though, you can see that it's kind of lagging a little bit, so the PCU on this thing is just crazy, just because it's so big and there's so much going on here. Alright, so that looks like where we were before. So up above us we have that door that I just spotted before, and then below us we have a very similar door. So let's open this and see what is behind door number 2. Oh yeah, cool. So we have a little bit of a walkway we can see out here. Is that fully exposed to space? No, there is windows beneath us, and it looks like just regular armor blocks above us. And then if we work our way through here, nice how there are a few interior turrets around the place kind of guarding everything. And it looks like we have a hangar. How did I miss the fact that we had a hangar? Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course, there was one at the front. Looks like we have 2 jump drives here, just kind of chilling there. Pretty cool design there with all the blocks wrapped around those. We've got some pipes kind of hanging from the roof. And then we've got these, yeah, connectors on the end for some ships to dock up, along with a ship dock there. There we have the ever so annoying jukebox. Sorry dude, but it is. And then we have our store block, and what is this? I think this is the vending machine. I thought we would have a contract block there, but we don't. Got ourselves some storage up there, some storage on the left as well, I believe. No, we don't. Oh, some storage there and some storage here, with these little nice little blocks on the side here. And then looks like we can see out into the wilderness. Looks like we've got ourselves a red spotlight out there as well, which was a feature that I missed on the outside. Again, it's yeah, the ship is pretty big, so it's, I would imagine it's pretty easy to miss a lot of these details. So I wonder if you can control the ship from here. No, you can't. So it looks like this is basically just for controlling whatever you would have on these LCD screens, which is pretty cool. And then through here, what have we got here? So we've got another toilet block and a shower. We've got, I wouldn't say an armory, but a little kitchen type deal. Up here we've got some more toilets. Then up here we've got another interior turret. We have some timer blocks. And looks like we have some sleeping quarters, which is pretty cool. And then we have this door here, which I think is permanently disabled. Interesting. Kind of adds a little bit more depth, even though it's not being used. So behind here, I think we have ourselves some assemblers. And then behind this door, looks like we have ourselves a few refineries as well, with a couple of pipes going between them. Even though this pipe isn't connected to anything, it still kind of looks cool, so that's a nice little feature as well. And I would dare say that behind here is an assembler. Let's have a look here. I can't really get up there. Yeah, there's an assembler there, so looks like we've got, what, maybe 3 assemblers. Are these connected to anything? Yeah, no, sorry, 4 assemblers and 2 large refineries, which is pretty cool. So it looks like you could do all sorts of stuff. Oh, this looks pretty cool as well. Yeah, I really like what he's done here as well. That looks pretty cool. So I would imagine when we go through this door, that would take us to where we were before. Yeah, so I do believe that is everything in the interior of this ship. Yeah, so that is pretty much everything. That's pretty much all the ships reviewed. So I think we are going to end the video there. But yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think about all these ships in the comments down below. Yeah, so a very big thank you for everyone who participated in this competition. Well, it wasn't really a competition, it was just kind of like a little bit of fun seeing what other people can kind of come up with. And yeah, so what people could make from this design all the way here on the left. So yeah, very fun experience. I really enjoyed checking out all these ships and seeing what other people can build, and you know, some different takes on different things. And like, as I always have my own design style, so it's nice to see people doing different things to what I do, and it's cool getting a little bit of inspiration from other people's designs as well. So yeah, again, thank you very much for participating. So what I will do is I'll place a link to each one of these ships in the video description. And yeah, so if you guys want to check these ships out, for those of you who didn't participate in this this exercise, then yeah, you can certainly check them out for yourself. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Alright guys, I will see you next time.